Okay. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon your time zone you have joined us today in this session room. It's my privilege and it's my honor to introduce my close friend Abhishek Bhattacharya. He's the co-founder of Word organization and a blockchain developer. And I've been knowing Abhishek, I guess, from the past few months only.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, and it's really great how he actually does a lot of things. He has been a jury member and a lot of I would say he has done 5,000 plus like taught and taken lecture on blockchain for 5,000 plus faculty, PhD, and students worldwide. I guess the number is increasing daily, and it's the motivation of being in giving back to the society. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Abhishek, for joining
Lovely.
us in Returning Mothers Conference 2021. The stage is yours. You can go ahead and share your screen and start the session.
Sure. Thank you, Ramnik, and it's always a pleasure to work with you. And that's why in a few months we have worked together, so many times. It's a pleasant opportunity. I'll just share my screen, and we have half an hour today, not much, so we'll get started and see everyone who's joining here today how much value I can make sure that I'm able to deliver out of it. So just let me get started once. I hope the screen is visible.
I believe it's coming up. Yes. Welcome the ins and outs of entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
You're good
yeah,
to go.
that's the topic. Thanks a lot. And thank you everyone for joining. It's a wonderful Sunday afternoon and it's just 30 more minutes. In these 30 minutes, I might be picking up a lot of speed. Sometimes it happens because, there is so much to cover. As you see, lessons from building India's largest blockchain network. Truly, this is my experience out of starting up for the third time. In the last, I think, 7 years, this is the third time I am doing a startup. I've co-founded a startup, and there's a lot of lessons to learn. And 30 minutes is too less to concise all those 7+ years. But I believe I would be able to do justice somewhere because this track is all about innovation and entrepreneurship. And let's see where we end up as we go. So it's not okay. Yeah. So that's what my purpose is for the next 30 minutes, to help you understand, about starting up, right? It's not a question that I will be answering for you here or help you answer here. This is something you're in this track. I'm pretty sure you're very much into that zone, to start understanding, or well enough understand that how exactly is it that startups work and what you need to do to be an entrepreneur or, take up your next venture. But yeah, eventually, the number of successful startups is fairly low. Just see, in my last 3 startups, I'm still not successful anywhere. And the last 2 startups I've closed down, I've shut down, I've left, or I shut down. So even though the first startup I did was in the 3rd year of my college, we raised a modest amount of funding as well within the first 2 months of operation. But even then, after 1.5 years, we had closed it down. So this can tell you that there is no guarantee that even, a penny of funding or $1 million worth of funding, whatever it is, you can still be at risk. Anywhere you lie in between, you are sufficiently at risk. And an entrepreneur is himself, carrying risk all around. Stay away from an entrepreneur. So that's why this is a journey. This is a journey that we need to understand in its nitty-gritty. So that's what the agenda is. Ramnik has already given an introduction. I'm the co-founder at Whirl, which is India's largest blockchain platform right now, and a globally first blockchain platform to implement blockchain in agri-financing. And I have myself been about blockchain technology since the last 4.5 or 5 years. I've been writing in it. I've written books in it. I've taken lectures for many people in India as well as outside in it. So I'm all about blockchain. So if there's anything, at the end of the lecture, I'll be sharing my credentials as well. You can find it on the website. Please feel free to reach out. I plan on being in blockchain technology for the next years to come. So I believe that I would be in a position to answer your questions in entrepreneurship as an entrepreneur, as well as a blockchain person and someone in blockchain, deeply in blockchain. So let's get some motivation and let's get started with some numbers. Very quick numbers. I understand you might be joining from many places in the world. Let's take some handy numbers in India itself. India, very populous country. And a lot of entrepreneurs. In fact, I think in 2021 itself, quite a few number of unicorns that we have given to the world. In 2021 itself, in the last 8 months. More than 10 or 15 now, I guess. I'm forgetting the exact number. And very frequently after every few days. So that's, by the way, people who don't know, unicorns are with more than $1 billion worth of valuation. So in the last 8 months, we have given ample number of unicorns back to the world, companies from India. Plus, we are seeing companies such as who have been startups, who have been following a startup culture since beginning, such as Zomato in India, reach the stage of IPO, and it was a very, very successful IPO. Zomato, if I remember clearly, was formed in 2008 only, so hardly any time has passed. So as you can see, the numbers, there are total about 740 million people, 740 odd million people in India who are in the adult range, the years of adult. Out of that, it has been found out that just 5% go for creating their own ventures. That's the number of entrepreneurs that you can see in India. That's not a small number. 740 million people we are talking about here. 5% of that, more than 37 million people who are being entrepreneurs. But you know how many of them succeed? 9 out of 10 don't. And you can see live example myself. Out of the 3 startups, I have failed in 2 startups. That means that, if that's where I would have started my journey, it would have been a complete failure. Right now, I'm doing my 3rd startup. If this does not become successful as well, though it is going touchwood good, but it has to go great. And if it does not go successful, then again, this would be added to that number of failed startups as well. So many startups across the entire country fail, every now and then. 9 out of 10, 90% startups fail right within their first year of existence. That's terrible, because you spend a lot of money, you leave out plush jobs. In fact, I was also at Policy Bazaar before. There's good salary, good position, good everything. Now zero, everything is zero. And that's a tough choice that you have to make. So that's one learning in entrepreneurship right from the beginning. But yeah, and knowing that you can very well be in those 90% who can turn out to be a failure within the first year of your existence. That's a tough choice. Numbers are big, but the resulting numbers of successful startups are very, 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 very low. Can't emphasize that enough. You must be knowing that by now. Everyone, why? So Shark Tank India, right? Shark Tank, very, very, premier show for entrepreneurs and startups is coming up with its first season in India. And if you haven't, just take a look at the advertisement that they pulled off, the campaign that they've pulled off for their launch. You'll understand that why it is so, people are so, apprehensive about entrepreneurs and startups. You'll see how in that advertisement, how parents, then friends, then bosses, then everyone is just so much doubting an entrepreneur that they're just trying to pull him down and making sure, not pull him down, but making sure that anyone, because friends love you, your parents love you, your teachers love you, your, boss might be very fond of you, but they don't want you to get down into that problem of being an entrepreneur and then failing later on, because they know that 90% will do. So that's why it's a good advertisement. You should take a look at. But when you do something in entrepreneurship, when you do a startup, what's at stake? The biggest thing out of everything, the biggest thing, you can see the one I've written in the most, the biggest font here is that running your own race. I don't think that there is any other enjoyment better than doing this. I'm not just talking about relationships between you and a boss, or reporting to a boss, or working on someone else's idea. That's not what I'm talking about. That's fine. Those are things that are important, that are definitely important. But those are the things that that are fine. These are nitty-gritty. But running your own race means being able to prove to the world that what you thought maybe someone's back came out to be true or did not. Then you'll get to know that it did not. Then you won't be anyway speaking to anyone else. But if it does, then that's a bit different kind of joy. So that's what I believe. I personally believe, and I have believed even in the first startup that I did 7 years back in 3rd year of my university, the second startup which I did after passing out of my university, and then the startup that I'm doing now. Every time I believe that this is the biggest thing. Being able to get up in the morning, not just on Mondays, but every single day, including Sundays, and sit down on the computer and work for something that is truly your own. There is no enjoyment like that. Second, maximizing your opportunities. As a startup, as an entrepreneur, you have to look out for opportunities everywhere. I don't know as an employee how much liberty you have at doing that. There's a scale of opportunities that you can go to. If you're in a particular department, a particular position, there is a limit of opportunities that you can really take in your hand. That's how it's designed. Us entrepreneurs also design our companies in a similar fashion as well. But the truth is that when you are at the driving seat, there is no limit. There is no limit to anything that you can even think of. That translates into you being able to grab as many opportunities, because the world is your oyster there. The market is in front of you and the opportunities are endless. You can grab them as per your will, as per your business acumen, as per your abilities to manage time, opportunities, scenarios, situations, and everything. And then you can just increase and increase. That's why with the same 24 hours and with the with the same kind of environment, two different entrepreneurs can be completely different. One can go to space and the other one cannot, and maybe a failure as an entrepreneur. That's where the difference is created, how much you can maximize. But yeah, you have to have that entire ground to yourself, the entire football field. This is where you get it. Creating massive impact. This is something that I had not, this is a point very close to me, because now I believe I'm in a position to explain this point to you. If it had been 3 years back, I would not have been. Many startups, many entrepreneurs, they believe that, okay, they would be doing some startup, but less people think of creating some good impact. And I'm telling you that this is not just social impact that I'm talking about, any kind of impact. And also, this is not, I'm talking about any charity or anything. Let's talk business. Let's talk actual numbers. Let's talk, opportunities which don't only cost to you because you're trying to do some charity, but it is you're beneficial to you as well. Creating massive impact would mean that there is some segment where you would want to create some great impact and your resulting actions are doing so. In that scenario, it's not just a charity you're doing, but you get back as well. I would love to take my own example in the startup, that this is the first time that we worked in an impact segment and we reaped the benefits as well, talking in clear, honest terms. We were very happy. We have been very happy in creating an impact for farmers of our country, for the agricultural industry of our country. But in return, we have reaped good benefits back, and it's a very healthy, healthy relationship. You're giving out something out of truly your own, and then you're getting back as well. And that is helping you run your startup. What else do you need? I'll come to that. But let's park this point, and I'll come to that when I discuss the second part, which is just one slide on what we do. And that should give you a good idea of what I'm talking about. Why should you start up? At this point in time, I would ask someone from the audience, why do you think you should start up? But keeping a time check, which is already 3:24 in India, I will not be asking this to the audience, but I would love to answer it for you. But before that, there are two questions. One you should ask is, why should you start up? Another thing is that which I would love to share here is that when you answer this question, that why should you start up, you should next focus on just changing the tone of this question a bit, and you should focus on why should you start up? Why is you the keyword here? Why are you the one to start up or do a particular idea? If talking about blockchain, then I asked myself that why am I the person? So first of all, why I should start up, and then why I should start up and start up in this particular segment of blockchain technology, fintech, and all these things together, whatever product we are building. So that's one question. The next question is, how tough is it? How tough is it to go through that entire entrepreneurship journey, and also is it quantifiable? Let's try to answer these questions before going ahead. First of all, why should you start up? This question I don't think I need to answer separately right now, because in the last, all the slides that we've covered, especially the last one where you said, you read that what is at stake. If you are also someone who believes that this is what is at stake for me, then I think you have an answer that why should you start up. Now, why should you start up? You focus on it. Again, the core characteristic of you. That is something that everyone will have a different answer to. I will have it for blockchain. You might have it for something totally else. You might have it for healthcare. But that you part will define and will help you understand that whether you are ready right now or not. It can very well happen. I can tell you right now that in third year of my university, maybe I was not ready to do a startup. If I would have been, maybe instead of 1.5 years, if not successful startups are rare, but if not successful, I would have at least stretched it to 3 years, 4 years, if I would have been ready, right? But I was not ready. Maybe no one is there to really give me a report card, but it says that somewhere I may not be ready. Does not mean that you should not start at a young age. In fact, there is no other generation that is coming up with much better startups right now than people who are young. Even younger than me, even younger than Ramneek, even younger than all of you attending here today. So age is never a factor. That's not the point that I'm making here. What I'm making here is, when are you ready? When are you think, and it can be in 40 years of age, it can be 60 years of age, or it can be 18 years of age, or 14 years of age. If you believe that you are ready, that you question you have answered, then I think this is a solved matter for you, and you can head easily. but make sure that you get the answer. And also make sure, one more point I would love to share you is that when you're answering this you part, just make sure that you understand that if you are working with other co-founders, and especially if it's more than one, it's not just like CEO and CTO. If it's more than one, what value do you add? Then again, this you part will come into matter a lot, because then it should not happen that your role is coinciding with someone else's role as well, and one of you, then you will always be at a task, and you will, and only one of you will end up being the final guy who's actually creating an impact in the startup, not even talking about outside. So make sure you have that very, very clear. And if you believe that you are a marketing guy, but there is another CMO, then what are you doing there? Or what is he doing there if you're a better guy, right? But then that's not quantifiable. So make sure that you are on the right path. And no one can give you the answer. Just like I'm saying, back then I did not have the answer whether this is something that I was ready or not in 2013, 14. But then again, no one will give you a report card. So this is something you will have to answer and understand for yourself. Is it tough? Oh, it's amazingly tough. It is very tough. Working 20 hours a day, and then after all, failing and not being able to end up to a successful company, it is phenomenally tough. Is it quantifiable? Yes, the number of hours is quantifiable. The number of effort, the total effort that you put is quantifiable to some extent. But that's impossible to actually quantify it to the bit, to the letter. But then again, it is quantifiable to some extent. Depends on your metrics. My metrics can be definitely different from your metrics, because our businesses might be different. Our characteristics as a human might be different. There are so many variables. When you do a research and you have to have 10 different variables, you want to make sure that all the variables are under your control. This is a place where you have 100 different variables with hardly even 10 under your control. That's what entrepreneurship is. I mean, that's what at least I've learned in the last 7 years. There may be better entrepreneurs than me who will have a completely different perspective of life, of entrepreneurship, of starting up. That's the beauty. That's the beauty of it. Every walk, every time you do a new startup, you will evolve. And somewhere or else that will help. That has helped me clearly. First startup, second startup, third startup, I have seen clear differences in my approach towards any kind of problem. All those variables, all those 90 odd variables that I'm talking about, which are not under an entrepreneur's control. So quickly, I don't think I have a lot of time. Maybe Ramning can give me a quick time check. Right?
Yeah, sure, Abhishek. It's fine. It's totally fine, because we have the industry lounge visit ahead, so you can take it like 3:45 or 4 o'clock. It's okay.
3:45 is good. That's more than enough. I planned to half an hour only. All right. Thanks, Ramning, for dropping in. So So truths to embrace. Just 3 more slides. Truths to embrace. First of all, quickly. Most probably you will fail. This is not to intimidate you. This is to let you be aware that this can be a truth that you have to embrace. I have done it for twice. It is tough. Every time it gets tougher. Of course, starting up in your third year of college is not tough. You don't have to make any such life-changing decisions. You don't have to worry about money a lot. At that time in my third year, most of the money that I invested in the startup came from my father. Let's be very blunt about it. But when I did a startup the second time, there went the money which I had earned in my job just for 1.5 years or so before that. So 1.5 years of job hardly gives you any bank balance, right? And that too right after college. It's pretty much a low salary. But yeah, that time you don't take it from your dad, possibly. Different scenario for everyone. But that time I had to invest all that I had earned in those 1.5, 2 years into the startup. Then came the third time, then it got failed. Then I joined a company like Policy Bazaar. Good job. You can understand from the name itself. Good salary. For the first time in my life, it was a really, really, really good salary. Then came the time to decide to start up the third time. And that meant that, again, whatever I had collected, again, goes into the, not the drain, but yeah, goes into a lot of sweat and all into this particular startup. That's another decision that you have to make. Now your age increasing, and let's embrace truths. The age for your marriage will be soon. The age for your, further future life would be soon. And that's arriving. Your parents put pressure on you. A lot of new variables. You said, we talked about the 100 variables before. Those suddenly become 120 variables with these, social and parental and all those variables getting into the equation. Just try to understand that what kind of decision it becomes when you, go further down the age. So you may fail. Most probably you will, because 9 out of 10 do. But if you're prepared, you will at least be, on the borderline of the 9 out of 10, or you will actually cross the borderline and be the 10th startup which is actually successful. Maybe starting up is not for you. This is another truth to embrace, not to intimidate you. If that is why the earlier question we solved, that you part, the startup part is good, but if you are not ready, then maybe startup is not for you. When it would be, you'll get to know. Just keep on researching and thinking and introspecting. You'll need a technical founder. Hi, is there a question? Do I need to stop?
No, Abhishek, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot, Ramnik. Again, thanks for dropping. You'll need a technical founder, especially if you're doing something in the field of apps and all, websites and all. You will need a technical founder. Don't try to start up just because you are two friends and both of you are good in business. You think you are, and you want to start up. Don't do so. It's going to be a failure. I can tell you that from experience. Don't do that. Don't do that. However close you might be to your friend, business is not about friendship. It will never be. You need to plan your possible exits before. And this sounds like sometimes a taboo even discussed between entrepreneurs. But no, I can tell you now that even the investors, when you go to pitch them, even some of the investors might ask you that what is your exit strategy? Where do you think that you will be exiting your company? Do you want to take it to IPO? Do you want to sell it to someone, get acquired, get acqui-hired? There are so many models, but you have to best that if you have a good idea from day one, you will not. But sooner you have a good idea about how exactly you want it to happen, you will understand that that's how things work, and that's how planning exits is not bad. It's actually a sign of good thought process to your investors as well. Plan your exit. Everyone does not get to be Mark Zuckerberg and take control of his company for 20 odd years, but 17, I think, right? 2004 to 2021. But not everyone will. So you need to plan your exit. Last two slides, strive for support and funding. How do you strive for that? First of all, get your story straight. I can't emphasize on this enough. This is very, very important, has felt important to me. And I'm sorry, guys, if I'm going really fast, but I have to, totally sum up 7 years worth of experience in 30 minutes. Get your story straight, understand the industry. If you don't understand your industry, even here at my end, my co-founder is more from the agricultural background than I do. So alone, I would not have been able to do a startup in warehouse receipt finance or agri-finance or commodity finance. That's why I needed him. And that's why, and I am from blockchain, so he needed me. Make sure that that's how I answered my you question. I can tell you that's how I answered my you question. Make sure that you do it for yourself. So get your story straight. You must understand the industry. Even if you don't have a background, then you should do an ample research into understand the industry. Show leadership and technical strength, obviously a very common point. Make sure that you are able to show leadership, as well as you're able to show that your team is good. You have technical strength to develop some, to execute some. Thinking is not the part. Execution is the actual role. Show growth. Any kind. Does not need to be like growth in terms of money. Does not need to be growth in terms of only user. Like we showed growth by reaching from 16 warehouses in 2020 to 1,400 warehouses in 2021. That's how we showed growth. We showed growth by being in one accelerator to 6 different accelerators in 2021, which included names such as IIM Ahmedabad, United Nations Development Program, University of Toronto, and so many good ones. So that was a growth metric for us. Nowhere in this you can see that money or the amount of dollars is mentioned. You define your own metrics so that you are able to present that this is how I grew in over these months. And then make sure that is monthly or quarterly, not yearly or 5 yearly. 5 yearly growth plans don't work for countries, but they don't work for startups. Have a strong business model and projection. Every time you should be knowing that if currently I'm here, what does it look like? The same answer, where do you want to see yourself in 5 years? It's not the answer for just for interviews. It is also an answer for investment pitches. Where do you see yourself or your startup in 5 years, in 3 years? What business metrics, what projections, what financials? And here the last one. What kinds of support do you need or should you look for? Funding, definitely. This is something that every single entrepreneur is behind. Funding from day one. But I am here to give you a different perspective. If you're not getting funding straight out of the door, or if you believe that funding terms are not coming very good for you, very conducive for you for growth, go for this. Look out for grants. Try to see that if you're doing, and then here, that's where I wanted to come again on the creating impact portion. If you're creating some impact, there would be many organizations who are trying to create impact in that region as well. It can be some diversity segments, agriculture, farmers, blue collar workers, any kind of segment, who might not be well to do, or there might be a gender problem, or there might be a financial pay problem. Anywhere you believe that your startup or your product is solving the problem of impact, is creating an impact, you can look out for grants, because there would be another side of the stakeholder list which is trying to create impact in that segment as well, and they will be happy to collaborate with you. The difference is that you are a startup, but they have money. They have money allocated to create an impact. You will be their manner in which, you will be their way in which they create an impact. So make sure you become that. I'll come to that, how we have been able to use this. Hopefully that would be a new addition to your knowledge. Mentorship is something you could look for, and that comes with acceleration and incubation. We have been accelerated, I think, in 6 or 7 odd accelerators, incubators, Government of India, in US, everywhere. But that has helped us with a lot of mentorship, and now those mentors we can connect back. And if someone is placed in US, if someone is placed in Singapore, we can connect and understand their market better, and they are usually happy to help. That's what mentors are for. When I mentor any startup, when I mentor be a part of an accelerator, that's what my goal is also. To transfer what I've gone through, not half an hour, not in 30 minutes, but in good amount of time, but to transfer what I know so that others don't commit the same mistakes. Similarly, who are better entrepreneurs than you, who are mentors themselves, they also strive to be able to make because when someone as an entrepreneur goes through this tough journey, and as I said earlier, how tough is it? It is impossibly tough. It is very, very tough. Day and night, it just gets tougher. So who has gone through this will be very glad in sharing that with you, because they would understand that you're in the same boat. So acceleration and incubation is something you should look at. Last thing, I said that one slide about how we cracked it, how we were able to till now crack not 100%, but we believe that we've been able to take a good look into a lot of opportunities. We are a blockchain platform. In short, we help farmers take loans against their commodities. That's all, and we bring all the stakeholders together. But we were able to, without, the main keyword here is that without raising one dime of funding, not even a paisa of funding, we were able to create not even a cent of funding. We were able to create a network of 1,400 warehouses. We are deployed in 1,400 warehouses in the country, 5 states, and we were able to we were able to do transactions worth over $500 million in just few months of our operations. That is what actually makes us India's largest blockchain platform, because no one has $500 million worth of transactions on the blockchain as of yet. And we have already dispatched just to farmers, over 600 farmers, $2 million worth of loans in the last 7 months itself. The mission is 50 million very soon. And with that, this is where I tell you that without raising funds, how did we do that? The reason we were creating an impact in the social segment, a social impact factor we had, we were changing the lives of farmers. We were changing the lives of the agricultural sector, which is almost 6.5% of our country's GDP. That's where we got support from IIM Ahmedabad. They gave us a grant. We were accelerated there. They gave us a grant, and also they created a case study on us, which will be taught in the flagship MBA degree. And you know that in IIM Ahmedabad, the cream of this country for studying. That's when they'll study about us, and then maybe we can do someday later business with them. They'll be glad to, right? Because they learned about us. So IIM Ahmedabad supported us. Government of India gave us grant, which helped us a lot. And then the most recent grant that we got was from the United Nations Development Program. All of them have one motive, is to help the agricultural segment or the farmer segment. We were a method for them. That's how we were able to crack this, and that's how we were able to generate a lot of opportunities for us without even raising any funds. The 100% of the company being still to us. Equity is a very costly resource. In the initial days, I'm done almost. In the initial days, we always think that let's give my co-founder some equity, my CTO some equity, my developer some equity. No, don't hand out your equity. You think that the equity is your cheapest resource. One day you'll understand that the equity is your costliest resource, which you're not getting back, just like time. Thank you. That's it. I hope that I added value. Ramnik, I'm done. So if you believe that you have any questions, happy to know. Otherwise, here are my credentials. Feel free to get in touch. Thank you so much. I'll leave it here as well. Yes, any questions, or I can ask Ramnik to take over.
Yeah, thank you so much, Abhishek, for your wonderful, insightful session as always. Because I always get excited about new technology and cutting edge technologies.
I know.
How you're working on agriculture and even the Indian farmers. I remember you shared me one story, like we were unaware how Indian farmer would react to blockchain. But
Yeah.
then when you told me about your scenario and your experience so far, it was really amazing to know. And that's how we are building India, and we are building each and every nations by importing, exporting the knowledge. Basically, knowledge is more important. KD is very much required. So I request all the attendees to share their feedback, or if any kind of questions or any type of experience you would love to share regarding entrepreneurship or Any kind of question to our speaker? Yeah. Abhishek has shared the LinkedIn profile in the chat window, and you can check out his organization. I pinned the comment on the comment box, so you can explore it and you can know more about his organization and work. And nothing more than important. It's networking. We are
Yeah,
networking with each other to know more and explore more. Awareness is more important than knowledge.
Yeah, Namik, I have one question to Abhishek,
Please
sir.
go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So, good afternoon, sir.
good
So,
afternoon.
myself, Vidyavati, I'm Chair WA Madras section. I have one question. Basically, this question nurtures my mind ever.
Yeah.
So, what is your answer or what is your suggestion for students of final year or third years so that they can get their MSME certificates? So they are a little bit unknown to that certificate, how they can apply, how they can get, and what is the basic necessity needs to get that certificate, and what is it actually for? So can you give a glimpse on that topic?
Sure. So I would very honestly say that I might not be the right person for this because I don't come from this background, and also even we have not gone for this, and I usually leave this to our team of lawyers at the startup. So I might not be the right person to do, but yes, I can only say that if this helps the students, then they must get in touch with a CA or someone who knows about this, and they can help them out so that later on it doesn't become a problem. See, we always like we did the something also they can look at is the DIPP registration, the startup, the Government of India Startup Initiative, DIPP registration. That is also something that they can, as a fourth year student, or maybe if they're doing startup and they have all those required documents and they are eligible, they must take a look at that as well. But whatever it is, they must, I mean, I'm not the right person, but they must definitely take help from someone who does this regularly, so that they are not misled, because a lot of people mislead you sometimes, and that's not something I want to do. But yeah, that's all I had.
So that's
One
very
more
helpful, sir.
question.
Sir, one more question I'm having.
Yeah.
So, to be as an because when we are talking about innovation and entrepreneurship, and being focused on this topic, and students asked me, so what is this about? Likewise, many students asked me. So what I said is it is like if you are producing a new product, or if you are out to make a prototype model of a product, and how to make that product to the market. So that you will deal with. So can you give some suggestions or idea on that?
Sure.
Thank you.
See, sure, ma'am. So what I learned to every student of yours also, and everyone here. So what I learned, which maybe I thought that I knew in the first startup as well, which was I was also in the same pool of people you are discussing with me right now, that third, fourth year. I also thought that anything that I will make will work in the market. That's obviously not the case, right? And we went with a media company, but then there is so much of competition there, right? And you have to then be very very either have to pivot, or you have to make sure that your product delivers something which others are not doing, right? So that's what now we understood. Hence now, as a product guy, so I'm the CPO at my own company, so as a co-founder as well. Now this time, now we create products which are very very distinct, which no one else is doing, even if people have been in the same segment, and which anyone.
Yeah, he's coming up, I guess. Yeah, there's some network glitch. No worries, man.
Otherwise,
So
any
yeah,
other
thank you so
question
much. Yeah, yeah.
in the same domain will not override you and do the same thing. So that's what I learned the hard way. I hope that your students don't have to learn it the hard way, and you can tell them before they do. But then one thing about entrepreneurs is that they don't listen. I didn't listen to a lot of people. Your students might also not listen to you or me, so they will also learn the hard way. But then that hard way will also give them 100 more experiences and learnings, which your talk will, or my talk will not be able to give. So it's a very vicious circle, but that's how it works.
Yes, sir, you're true.
Great, great. Yeah,
So
thank
one
you so
more
much.
thing is, it
Yes,
is like
yeah.
a personal question from my side. And what is the reason why your company name is like WHRRL? Is there any reason or
Yeah,
numerological?
that's a very good question. So it's because we are into warehouse receipts. So it's like warehouse receipt lending. That's what WHRL is, an extra R just for rhyming it better. That's all warehouse receipt lending means. But we have more brands which make more meaning out of the name, not like this one. So that's why.
Okay, great. Thank you, Nityavati ma'am, for sharing your question, and thank you so much, Abhishek. The feedback link shared by Abhishek I have pinned on the comment box. Feel free to share that feedback. It will take none more than 10 seconds,
Yeah.
as it's already mentioned in the URL. So with that, Isha, I'm really sorry that we weren't able to take your question due to time limit because we have a V Power panel attached onto the Inspire and Engage track. And Abhishek, if you are available, would glad to have you there
Sure.
as well. We have a lot of members and a lot of people from World Bank Group, V Power
Sure.
Initiative there. So if you can unshare your screen, we can have a quick fight with all the
Yeah.
people.
Sorry, I could not take your
That's
question,
excellent.
but feel free to get in touch so that we can answer. Thank you, Ramnik.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Let me just start the magic box. One, two, and three. There you go. Please take a cute selfie and then we will be compiling it together on a collage. Okay, I am done. How many of you are done? Say yes, no in the chat window.
This was really nice. First time I
Yeah,
saw something like this. Wow.
yeah, that's an exciting part for the whole conference. We are like getting all the group files, and you don't need to download it. Once I end it, you will get a final pick. It will automatically send to your attendees mail from which mail ID you have joined the
Great. That's
session link
great. That's
automatically.
One more thing is like Abhishek sir. So in this groupify picture, you will be in the as the speaker for all the pictures.
okay. That's great. That's
The host will be in all the
yeah.
pictures, and the people who are taking from there and they will be in the left hand side.
Nice, nice, nice. I'm eager Ramnik, to see what comes out of this.
Okay, then I believe like we have 15 people on the call, only 11 people has finished up. Shall I end it? Because we have lot of sessions going on, and you will get a chance to take group five everywhere. So don't worry about it. There we go. One, two, and three. It's rendering the final photo and one, two, come on, man. Yeah, there we go.
Wow.
So that's the double group five. You can save and share with your social network and feel free to tag Abhishek to share feedback on the social network and share the feedback for the Returning Mothers Conference. So with that, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Abhishek, for joining us. It was really insightful session. And Sapna ma'am, over to you. You're muted.
Yeah. Now, a session of Simayakar. Next session is Samruddhi is there. Samruddhi?
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
asking for the mic. And
Who's
I believe
asking for the mic?
first Smriti, no? Yeah, she's asking for the mic. Yeah, yeah. Sime will also join, I believe. So, Savneet, over to you, man. And I will be going out. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Samruddhi, please do one thing. Just post one message for all the participants to join on a track group as well as on the core group, please.
Yes, ma'am, sure.
Mm, uh, Asia is there, right? Asia, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Isha is also there and Ishita is also there.
Asia. Actually, she was a student volunteer for the previous session. No?
Yes, ma'am.
I think. Minutes. Hello.
Hello. Hi, Simai.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good
Hello.
afternoon.
Hi, Sime.
Happy to meet with you today.
Same here. Same here.
How are you? Everybody fine?
Yes.
Yeah, we all are fine. And what about you?
I'm very good.
Ah, that's good.
I'm happy to see you. Now I feel much better. So we still have 5 minutes, do we?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Just after 5 minutes, we'll start our session.
Okay. So good.
Yeah.
And yeah, everything is good.
We all are very excited to listen basic and other things about the entrepreneurship from you, as we are very new for the entrepreneurship. As my background is at least from academia, I don't know much about the ABC of entrepreneurship even.
That's actually a journey you discover inside. So like that how you actually get inspired from the field even before you become entrepreneur. So I'll also refer that in some of my story because I first worked in the corporate environment and I became entrepreneur. But this is like even you're from academia or industry, like we have different entrepreneurship mindset and opportunities.
Yeah.
Very well said.
Very excited to share that.
Actually, before 2020, our education policy, when you are doing the study or something like that, when currently you are in academics as a student, they don't support you for think for the entrepreneurship or to start your startup. But our new education policy right now support this thing, and that's why even our faculty members or even our students are much motivated for these concepts. What actually these concepts are, how can we proceed for that, what can be the challenges, and through experiences how you all handle that.
Yes, ma'am. Very correct.
That's great to hear. Like when there is an encouragement around, I mean, in your environment, or inspiration, just inspiration from the people you have around, or just like your environment, and having the support, or when you discover that you need to start something new, and when there is a support, it makes it easier because like sometimes it sounds like difficult to make a decision to go for it, but the environmental factors really help.
Yeah, very true.
I just want to close all the tabs because I don't know if you're seeing me with any delay because my camera is a little bit
No, I
No.
think it's perfect. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, good to hear. Let me just make sure about my connection as well and close any tabs and make sure it's even better and faster. I'm seeing you very well, but I was seeing my uh, video with a little delay.
Maybe after closing tabs, bandwidth may increase. So
Yes. Now I'm closing any kind of tab and try to make the connection faster. Since we still have 1 more minute.
Okay, so let me share my screen.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, we
Hello
can
all.
start.
Yeah. Hello all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I think everything is appropriate as per your time zone. I took this opportunity to introduce our today's speaker, Ms. Simeaka. She's a chief commercial officer and a co-founder at Innosys. Simeaka is an entrepreneur with reputable corporate industrial background and experience in the energy industry. She specialized in the photovoltaic manufacturing, battery storage for electric vehicles, and renewable energy technologies, and the clean energy market development. Her past roles include sales and marketing director of Ecore, Eco Renewable Energy, and the Marketing and Business Development Director of Goodwi, Turkey, Head of Overseas Marketing and Telson Solar. We all are very excited to have knowledge or the experiences, idea from Sime. Now stage is yours. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so excited to be here today because this conference is especially more important. And, just like entrepreneurship track is also, like innovation entrepreneurship track is one of the, just like most important field. And considering the target audience, like where you discover how you change your life, just like how you make the decision. So, and how to feel comfortable about this idea from the very beginning. And when you are in entrepreneurship environment, how you can actually, just like achieve the, just like your goals and targets step by step by having the basics in as a mindset. That's why I'm so excited to share, and I hope we can touch, like some of your life by sharing, just like this inspiration to each other during this session. So that's why I'm very excited being here even more. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'll share my presentation.
Sure. Yes, you can share your screen.
Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you. Just you'll probably see my screen first. Please let me know if everything is okay and if you can see my presentation.
Yes,
Okay.
your screen is visible.
That's awesome. I'm not able to see you for now while presenting, but please let me know if you have any technical difficulty. And I'll try to also have some interactive part, because I think it's important to share knowledge in this topic. That's why I want to, just spend some time for Q&A session. And today, as I said, I will address, just like basics of entrepreneurship that you already, just like did the great introduction, and I really appreciate for that kind introduction. So like that is my story. So I'll keep it simple. So like you can get more information from my website, simayakar.com. So I'm originally from Turkey. I lived in China and worked in China. I worked in the photovoltaic industry before being an entrepreneur in 2020. Well, even before being an entrepreneur, I work in a startup company, so just to discover the environment. But my entrepreneurship journey, actually, let's say the mindset, is coming from IEEE, because I'm a dedicated volunteer since 2007, and I volunteered in student branch and experienced different chapters. So by that chance, I joined Region 8 in different roles. And when I moved to China for my work, again, I was already working in very traditional corporate company and environment. Is a large scale, you can say tier 1 photovoltaic manufacturer, and based on their headquarters as being a responsible head of marketing for international marketing. So it was just another opportunity from entrepreneurship. IEEE is an initiative, IEEE Entrepreneurship. You may be familiar with that. But I was already serving another role in Region 8 when I joined Region 10, when I changed my location. So my geographic region also changed. So I became part of the Region 10 family. And that year, thanks to that network, I served as the chair of entrepreneurship ad hoc in Region 10. So that was also a smooth transition for me to discover the entrepreneurship environment. So when I was serving a student branch as like a chair or several roles there, my student branch was so, just like they were so close to Technopark at the university and working in collaboration with them. So it was another opportunity for me to discover from the early years that mindset. But after all, after several years, actually, IEEE volunteer experiences gave me another idea by just engaging IEEE entrepreneurship community. And today I'm also serving at the steering committee as social impact liaison, beside my other roles in IEEE, because I have several heads. So still, just that spirit came from the volunteering, because entrepreneurship is all about your conditions, your environment. You need a little bit inspiration from these factors, and you need to discover your own potential, because you need the right idea, right time and conditions, and the team, so you're ready for it. I will actually explain a little bit more. So I'll just keep it brief in my story, long and short. So thanks to IEEE network and inspiring role models, all great volunteers around me, and you're one of them. Today we are interacting. We actually discover our own potential. So that helped me to be an entrepreneur. Today, when I decided to be an entrepreneur, I found the right people and investor conditions. It was early 2020. So probably the most challenging year for all of us. But it was the right time and opportunity for me to decide for it. And I became co-founder of InnoSys and chief commercial officer in battery storage field for lithium-ion technology. So lithium-ion battery storage technologies. So I slightly changed my technical also focus, even though they're very close to each other and almost the same field. But if you decide being an entrepreneur in one technology, you need to really specialize. In that decision, IEEE also helped me. Because I'm member of several IEEE societies, and I can refer PS, IES, and SSIT are one of them. And I'm, PS environment, especially technical consults, help me to be confident when I slightly change my focus from photovoltaic to energy storage. So that confidence helps, in my story. And today I still continue this journey. So you can get more information from my website. So here, I just want to refer again. So the basics of entrepreneurship. So especially in technology, because, we are in STEM field. So when you have this technology intensive environment, it can be your coworkers, just anyone that you are close. I can refer IEEE network, because we are sharing a lot of technical knowledge between each other when we have these initiatives, when we meet with, inspiring people at these conferences, webinars, and when we work together in the volunteering committee. So we exchange a lot of ideas. So that's actually a resource of the inspiration. And we all have a lot of technology intensive ideas. So our environment really help us to discover our passion, our motivation. So if we are ready for entrepreneurship or not, and if it's the right time or not. So these answers we find from the environment as well, because these environments help us to discover our own potentials. So when you have these ideas, so it's like my story, like you can be entrepreneur, you can be also an entrepreneur. So like if you're not familiar with that environment, so you can actually initiate new ideas and innovative solutions in a corporate environment as well. And you can still play leadership roles and discover, like if you are in a corporate environment and lead a new initiative, in innovation for one technology, or any technology focus you have. So like you are actually slightly getting involved in entrepreneurship. But in the entrepreneurship, so you have more freedom. So you start new initiatives by yourself. So like probably comparing to entrepreneurship, a little bit more risky, but gives you more opportunity. And that freedom is actually, an advantage. So like this is like another kind of concept. Before being an entrepreneur, you can discover entrepreneurship as well. But if you are ready for, just like doing these things by yourself, you're at the stage of entrepreneurship as well. And for the entrepreneurship, you also need the right team and conditions. I'm referring also, like the right ideas and the right investment models and business models as well, where I will also refer in more details. So it's, but it's also important to have the spirit of entrepreneurship. You need to be ready for it. So like, but it is not really hard because, like all these environments, conditions, and the business models, just like the innovation that you've discovered in your mind already, just like that gives you this entrepreneurial spirit. So like, and then you're ready to take that risk and you discover your own potential and you will go for it. And entrepreneurship is all about this iceberg illusion. So like what people see is your success generally, but there are so many things happening behind, like as you are co-founder, you're just like or founder of a new initiative. So like you're actually going through a lot of long process, which is also very beautiful because, like that actually what people don't see is the most exciting part of entrepreneurship. So like you need a lot of dedication, hard work, and you need to, just like discover your own habits. You will have a lot of disappointment. You will fail a lot of time. And those failures are your opportunity to learn, like then that will, those failures will motivate you to, just like to have those success and accomplishments and achievements. So that's why you keep working hard. And, just like these disappointments, there are actually, you sacrifice a lot of things, but there will be a lot of return from those sacrifices as well. And then you will just like keep working and there will be just no one success because success has also a lot of milestones. So like in the entrepreneurship journey, you will have many milestones that, they will really satisfy you and they will also be a return of investment. So then in this journey, you need to stay positive. So like positivity is really matter. Because, just like all those failures, you need to see all those failures, challenges as an advantage, as an opportunity, because you need to take all those opportunities and change them and turn them into a success. So that's why in this journey, so you need to keep your positivity and the vision. So like, so there will be a lot of milestones as I referred before. So you need the clear sense of direction. Like you need to be flexible in your business model. You need to change if needed. So you need to see the tomorrow, and this clear sense of direction will give you the right answer. So you need to be ready for those challenges, and you should have different strategic plans from 1 year to tomorrow to 1 year to 5 years. So like that's why it's also important to have an exit plan B, C, and even more. So like, because, there will be no just one plan that you could apply during the entrepreneurship journey. And like before you start, you should discover your own passion. But your passion will drive you during this journey. So that's why all the times when you have this challenges or like when you reach out those milestones, you should listen yourself, and you should listen your inner voice to not to forget your passion. So like you need to find your passion, and you need to be very dedicated to keep it. And this is like every entrepreneur has a different personality and character, but there are common characters of entrepreneurs as well. So like, and it's important to be in high extroversion, because like you need to have a lot of networking. Like your networking really matters. Networking is not about having a contact or business card of anyone. So it's all about relationships. So like you need to build good relationship in business and friendship, and there will be a lot of return of those. Like the quality of the relationship or network really matters. So it's not the number of the business cards you collect, number of people you follow on LinkedIn. It's all about inspiration, having the quality of people in your network who will really support you when you need and give you the right answer. So like I can say, just like associations like IEEE, there are many other great associations as well, but as a dedicated IEEE volunteer. So as a IEEE network gives us this quality of network, just like not just like number of people we know, but those people who really inspire us and give us the right direction, because you will really need a lot of answer during this journey. And also you need to be agreeable also, just like you need to accept the changes and challenges. So it's also a long journey, like you need to accept whatever comes with positivity and say, yes, I'm ready for it. Yes, let's change for it. Because, like if, of course, you need to stand behind your decisions, but then that clear vision and will give you the right answer. If you also have this habit, just like to accept and see the right answers, you will actually go higher and higher every single day. And entrepreneurship is all about taking a risk. So you're taking the risk, but you're actually also balancing them. So you're not just taking those risks to have uncomfortable environments. So it's like entrepreneurs are mostly known as like risk taker. This is true that we take the risks, but we also control, because with that vision for tomorrow. So like we are actually considering tomorrow before taking another action. So that's also another important point. So like, yes, we are risk takers. So, but we are not adventurers. So like, of course, we are adventurous in heart, but for our decisions, we need to consider tomorrow as well. And well, I was always referring, when you find the right environment, so like you are ready for entrepreneurship. And here, one of the most important part of this decision is your team. So if you find the right team, or if you are founder, you need to build the right team for yourself. And just as important to have the trust, and just like you build this, just you build everything together. So that's why all your decisions will give you the honor, honesty, and just like you'll be one. So it's important to find that team. It's not just together with you, just to make more money tomorrow, who shares the same passion with you, who are ready those challenges together with you, and together you will achieve all those milestones, and you will actually celebrate together. So it's really important to be united. It's not just like right idea, conditions, investor, or many other, just like environmental factors you found. Is the most important thing. You find actually the right team, or build the right team during this journey. And you should keep this discipline when you have the teamwork, right business model, and everything is all about discipline. So like you need to keep heart when you fail, or when you change your models. And if you're, because I was always referring, you need to be flexible and agreeable when you need to change the decisions in the journey. So like you shouldn't lose your motivation. Discipline really matters. Like you should just like stand up quickly and then keep working hard in the same discipline. So like it will be a return to you. And in this journey, it's really important to have a target. So for tomorrow, the day after, 3 years, 5 years, where you will exit this model. Would you like to be a worldwide global brand, or would you like to exit and sell this business model? So it's really important to have a strategic plan and renew this strategic plan and discuss again together with your team during the journey, because conditions are changing. So especially because we are in a technology-driven environment, and the conditions are changing, markets are changing. So we need to really follow all the trends and the achievements in those technologies, because we are deploying and developing those technologies together. And there are also visionary people in this environment who also change the environment, change the conditions. So that's important to see the future and be ready for revising our strategic plan. And techno innovation to techno entrepreneurships, because like it's again relevant to the concept. So like you are ready for innovating a new idea, but how you will change this and make it as a business model is actually an entrepreneurship. So like you can work in a startup environment and you can discover techno innovation, but you can also, just like discover how you will run this company. So then the business model really matters. And innovators are made, not born. So it's really important for you to discover your own potential and how you will equip yourself and be ready to be an entrepreneur. So it's a journey. So like you don't have only just one passion and team and right conditions. And in the journey, you need to develop your skills and your knowledge. So this is like you need to, as we entrepreneurs or innovators and whoever believe in and dedicated in the STEM field, we need to keep working hard and change change the environment in positive direction and leverage technology for humanity. And meanwhile, we need to keep learning and equipping ourselves even better every single day. So we are really made, and we make these conditions by our own. And be change maker. Just as like if you are ready to be an entrepreneur, so like you're ready to be a change maker. Or with your passion and vision, you already discovered you're a change maker. So then you don't really satisfy if you just like stay wherever you are and don't really, don't create impact for humanity or technology or better tomorrow. So this is an important. So then when you have this vision, and every single day you would like to even achieve more and do more. So like we all have this, just like we all have this game in this entrepreneur environment. So like we are just like guiding an orchestra, and then for the future. So we are just like we have different personalities, but together in the team. So we are just like one united team, and to just achieve all of those goals. And it's important, and if you would like to be in the technology driven environment, so it's important to create the social impact as well, because again, when you have this vision, so you want to really contribute the future of humanity. So like the social impact really matters. So like whatever you do and which technology are you dedicated, so it's important to discover also how much you contribute to the society, because you invest a lot of time and you invest a lot of energy and motivation for tomorrow's, and you will make your business model successful, but it's also important to have this social impact for tomorrow. So then no matter which technology you're focusing on, you can always, just like consider how much you contribute in the sustainable development goals, which will be a lot of return. And as a social project or just one of the vision of your company, you should always consider these sustainable development goals, how you will achieve even more. And it's actually a journey of a company, but more than that, it's your own journey because you're making the story. So it's important to outline the benefits of changing your life when you decide to be an entrepreneur. And today, actually, we have very diverse, beautiful audience that I know here in this conference. So and if you're a student, if you would like to, if you have already ideas and right conditions, I'm referring, some support from the universities, institutions, some competitions. You can discover all of these. You don't need to have just have a corporate industrial environment first. You can actually discover these conditions from the academia or from student years, or you can actually shift from the industry, as like my story, to entrepreneurship when you discover the right conditions. So it's your journey. You need to outline those benefits because you're changing life, you're going out of your comfort zone, and it's actually you're making a story. So that's why every entrepreneur has their own story. And for the Returning Mothers Conference, so when we change our life, we also give. I also gave some several breaks, couple of months for when I changed my life, and sometimes first personal conditions, we need to give breaks and we need to come back to work, and in these breaks, actually these are opportunities for us to discover when we return from 1 month's break or 1 year break. So that is your story. So these are the opportunities to listen your inner voice, and it's an opportunity to outline the benefits of changing your life. So then in these breaks, if you listen yourself enough and if you find the right answer, so when you go back to work, so you can actually discover to be an entrepreneur. So this is another journey. So comparing to transition from student to entrepreneur environment directly, or industry to entrepreneur environment, or from a return, let's say from a break to return to a work environment, that's another also opportunity for us, because you are ready to make a difference. You're ready to be a change maker. So you had enough opportunity to listen yourself. Whatever reason you gave that break, when you return, you have more energy and motivation to make these things happen. So that's why it's also important. So that's why today we are hosting an entrepreneurship track in this conference to give all these opportunities and discover all these opportunities together. And we need to adopt the growth mindset, because in this journey we are growing a lot. So we are just learning new technology. We are actually discovering our own potential individually, and also with our team, we are growing. So we should be ready for this growth, and we should have this growth mindset. Well, in IEEE, entrepreneurship is one of the organizational units that you can discover, but also IEEE has a humanitarian philanthropic opportunities, which also gives a lot of the benefits or inspiration from IEEE Smart Village, Side Epics, wherever you want to be an entrepreneur or social entrepreneur. Maybe you can also, you can continue in the corporate environment, but you can still volunteer in a social entrepreneurship with these kind of projects. So then you can also discover the benefits to humanity. So then please just have a look if you're not familiar with these initiatives, so you can actually discover. And one more thing I just want to refer, because this is the, we still have 2 more days. And if you have some achievements in entrepreneurship initiative in IEEE and volunteering, or you are an entrepreneur in your ecosystem, so like we have the Impact Award. So 2 more days left, so you can get this information from IEEE Entrepreneurship website. So like you may have opportunity to win up to $2,000. Well, actually not up to $2,000. So this is another way. It's important to be recognized. So like, because if you're in an entrepreneur environment, from your association or from your industry, any honorarium is really important. And recognition. So like in this journey, you need to go out of your comfort zone when you make this decision. But going out of your comfort zone is a journey. So like and you will actually change your comfort zone several times. You should learn how to get comfortable with your discomfort, and you should learn how to enjoy that. So that entrepreneurship is all about this journey. So like you will have a lot of discomfortable situations and discomfortable days. And if you get comfortable with them, you will see the opportunities and advantages of those challenges. And I'm about to finish this presentation, and I'm looking forward to just like having more interaction. And so it's important to find your own passion in life. So, and it will give you the right answer also for the entrepreneurship journey. So like passion really matters. And life begins at the end of your comfort zone. This is not mine, but this is one of my favorite saying. So like, and gives me a lot of confidence, when I just see, I need to go out of my comfort zone one more time, because, like that, those uncomfort zones gives me a lot of advantage, and I'm ready for more. And so it's really important to focus on sustainable development, and just we can benefit to humanity and our own life as well. Thank you very much for listening. I'll just like okay, here I'm back.
Yes, so that was great listening to you. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, and this presentation was awesome. We got a lot of insights about entrepreneurship, what basic skills are required. So yes, let's take the question and answers. So participants, if you have any questions, feel free to post your questions in the comment box. And we have one question, from Aishwarya. So how can young women strike a balance without getting overwhelmed in entrepreneurship?
Well, actually, just like it's for young women, just like there are challenges, but then, just like for not just for entrepreneurship, but also, just like when you're in the industry, it was actually in my story as well, because, I took the responsibility in the corporate environment for, just like at the early ages, especially from right after graduation, I was responsible for one of the department. And, like always you were just like hearing, like, can I talk to your manager? Referring to a male manager you have, but actually you're in charge of the department. And, this is like, well, what I discovered, like we're changing this together, because we have this confidence from our network. So like we women are change maker. So like even you face with these kind of situation. So like as we inspire each other, so like we should just like always keep in mind. So if we just like stand together and if we support each other, like every single day, we will actually see the acceptance in the society as well. So like whatever challenge you're facing with as an entrepreneur or someone from industry or just like academia. So like it's the same. and how we actually change together will actually be an impact for tomorrow. And in my journey also, just like, and I'm still a young professional. Well, referring to IEEE, I'm young professional and senior member. And, just like I had a corporate environment, but in this short period of time, thanks to all these role models and inspiring people who helped me to change my life, I feel more confidence every single day. So that's why we inspire more for the young generation, for future leaders. Don't forget, just like we are here, our senior role models are here. So like together we are changing the world, and we are just like, we'll make all our environments more, like diverse and also equal. So diversity, equity, and inclusion matters. And we are actually, just like working hard to change this. So you're not alone.
Yes, so that was great. Actually, yes, so she had actually mentioned that so volunteering and entrepreneurship are the two high-powered and demanding engagements, and you are excel at both. So this is the said by Aishwarya. So thank you, Aishwarya, for your questions. Hope this is the answer for it. And I also want to ask one question regarding the risk. So as risk is the main factor in entrepreneurship, and you have mentioned in your presentation and talk as well, we are a risk takers, not the adventurers. So can you elaborate more on the risk management, or how we can manage the risk factor while talking about the entrepreneurship?
That's a very good question. So actually, even in my presentation, I was trying to differentiate themselves. Differentiate being adventurous and being a risk taker from, because in my personal story, I can discover myself as adventurous because, I made a lot of, just like good decision, just like with the confidence to go out of my comfort zone, relocating to another country or being ready to, even when you're in the corporate environment, it sometimes sounds, very exciting to be a lead of the department, being the head of the department at the early age, but it's not all about title. It's all about the huge responsibility you're having, and you should be also ready for it. So that's why, not for the corporate and professional environment, for those decisions who helped me to make life experience. I'm just referring my relocation decision and just joining a startup company. It's these are like all some adventurous decisions, and also in my personal skills, I feel adventurous. But I always differentiate that being a risk taker in the entrepreneur environment, because when you're an entrepreneur by yourself, you're taking that big step, but strategically, you have a strategic plan. You should be very dedicated for your strategic plan, but then you should be also flexible, because whatever you plan, just may need to change according to environmental conditions. So that's why you should have always plan A, B, and C. And when you change those plans, so you need to be flexible, but you cannot take huge risks in every step. So then you need to analyze and have a clear vision for tomorrow. When you change the plan, you should analyze the risk, because you should have also, you should make this business model successful tomorrow. So those risk taking is different than being adventurous. So because you have a right to fail, but you should stand up very quickly. So when you fail, you should be really motivated to come back, stand up. You don't have, you have a right to fail, but you don't have too many opportunities. You don't have too many chances to stand on the floor.
Yeah.
You have to. That's an opportunity. You see the bottom, and you need to jump to reach out your milestones. In that jump, when you see the bottom, you can have these failures several times, but then all the times when you reach a milestone, so you are going the higher one. So for now, you're dedicated for one more milestone. That's why you take the risk, but you analyze the risk based on those conditions because you have now a new target. You need to reach out to that target. You cannot go back to the floor all the time, even though you have a chance to fail. So that's why it's different than being an adventurous. And well, you can give a break in your career. So you can sell your business model. You can go for another business model. So these are like a personal journey. So like everyone has that right. So like to give those breaks, or leave one environment and be entrepreneur. So so those risks are different than what you take during the professional entrepreneurship journey.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's great. So analyzing risk is the main and important key. So yeah, thank you so much. So we'll take the next question. Okay. So the question is from Preeti. My question is, how will a technical person find and connect with the mentors who will guide them to grow? As mentoring in a two-way process, giving and receiving, and sometimes it gets sore. How do you help people finding the best entrepreneur or best mentor?
Well, that's a really good point. Actually, mentorship is two-way. So sometimes when you mentor people, you learn also from your mentee.
Yes.
So that's why mentorship is really, like a really important experience. So and in this one, you have, like in my story at least, I have several role models and several mentors.
Okay.
And none of them has to be, like long-term, lifelong mentor. Sometimes, so mentor is someone you reconnect when it's necessary, because it's just like when you share that knowledge and inspiration between you, you have the lifelong bond. So like you have the lifelong relationship with your mentors. So like you can anytime have a short call and ask those questions. So like in our life, we should have those mentors, those role models, and more than just like possibly more than one, because it's not just one person will come to you and change your life. You will have many great mentors in your life in this journey who will support you and give you a hand and give you an inspiration, an idea, just one word. Like sometimes it's not just hours, just sometimes one word or one encouragement will change your life as well. So that's why it's important to see these signs from those people and have that relationship. So that's why network really matters. And also, just like you in this journey, you discover who are those people can really help you and give you the knowledge and share. Sometimes you volunteer with them in some committees, and after years you communicate and connect with them again. So this is also another form of mentorship. So like your volunteer leaders or your team members, like we shouldn't see mentorship just one direction. So like you sometimes lead a volunteer committee and you learn from your team members. So that's also another form of mentorship. So like it's important to have as I was referring, the quality of the network. We should build this quality of relationship in our network. They will help us in the future.
Thank you. I think because it is for identifying key people who can mentor, because if you're working in a corporate or if you're in a college, your guide or the professor who will be cheering you, supporting you, doing course correction for you. Okay, so once you know that person, he is engaging. But when you are already out in the pool, because Sime, are you open for mentoring? Like can I seek you for mentorship, since you have done a lot of you have done a lot of entrepreneur and volunteering work, right? So as an entrepreneur, if I can I reach out to be asking you to be a mentor?
Of course. I'm
Okay.
like I have actually these mentors and mentees just like entire my life. Like I never just like even just like there are some mentorship programs I joined as mentor, but like even the program is over, I never left. like the mentees, just like without communication. So after years, somehow we find a way to connect. And, like I have role models that I'm still learning
Passionate.
from them. And anytime micro mentorship or full, like mentorship programs, like that is most important, one of the most important experience in my life. So like I'm always ready for it.
Thank you. And next thing, because it makes, yeah. Next thing which I had a doubt question was there while you were saying about plan A, plan B, plan C. Because when you're studying, you can do it. When you're an entrepreneur, you have launched it. You need to go with your plan A because it takes sometimes 12 months, 18 months to do it. Because a lot of failures come in our face, and I think the past 2 sessions gave me a lot of strength to face those sort of challenges, because I used to face, I never knew it. Thanks for the IEEE, I know it. Oh, these are part and parcel of this your journey. You have to take it, you have to be detached, and you have to go. So for a young entrepreneur in this group, there will be a lot of, because after having 2 or 3 years, I can know these passionate volunteers will start an entrepreneur. For them, like plan A, plan B, plan C, because they need to unlearn, right? You have to go stick with your plan B. If I have plan A, plan B, and plan C, I know this fails, I can do this, but at the end you will be a failure. You will so how will you explain or suggest that to have a single focus, dedicated mind to solve the problem? Like if you say Einstein did 99 times and finally found light, and we are all bright, we all have future, right? He didn't had the plan B to do other research, right? How do we get that? How will you suggest us to?
That's a really good point. Actually, that's why I was referring. Like, you should be flexible in the ideas. You should be a failure is very normal in this journey. But like, I'm not referring you're failing with everything, but you still have. I mean, every entrepreneur journey has a lot of failure. But just like at least you should have the small or big targets to reach out. That's why milestones really matters. You don't have just one success. You will have several achievements. And all the times it's important to see how you will actually jump from one to another. But not having like 20 different plans and you fail in everything. You should have one dedicated direction.
Yeah.
And if that direction does not work, we should just stop and think. Maybe we are leaving something behind serious. So then we need to just take our time. Sometimes we need to make very quick decisions to adopt in the journey.
Correct.
Sometimes if you're seeing, this is failing in one, twice, 10 times, there must be something I need to focus. So you can actually, as like giving a break in your career, but not something like that, but you can actually stop and overview everything and spend more time in your strategic planning. What is wrong or what is missing here?
Correct.
So like there is no problem to stop for a while. You're not running out of time. If you're just like going to wrong direction, you should see where you can change and how you can change. If there's something wrong, if you give yourself a time, in this journey, we need to be fair to ourselves. So that's also important. You need to be very kind to yourself. So like, and to think so, and it's for all of us, like you need to be very kind to yourself and fair to yourself and sit down and see. And then you will find the right answer, because now you have the discipline, like you keep trying, and now you give a little break for yourself to overview your strategy plan from the beginning and see what I can change. Because, maybe also my plan B is also not the right direction. So then I need to, those kind of small breaks will give us the opportunity to change the direction. And it's not waste of time.
It is like we have not got the requirements correct. Like you might, when you are told me strategy is correct, I realized once you get your exact requirement, then you are in the right, because we might have not captured the exact requirement to address that problem statement as an entrepreneur. So that is when, I need to correct my strategies. Yeah, got it.
Absolutely. Just like it's like we always have these plans from the beginning, but just like not only environmental conditions are changing, but also just like the direction might be wrong, and which is also very normal because now we are learning in the journey. So that's
Correct.
why we need to be very flexible. And if the plans are wrong, there is nothing wrong with that. Just like if the direction is not the right way, there is no problem, because it's all about your entrepreneur spirit. So
Correct.
you're ready to change. You have the growth, flexibility. You have the
tenacity. How much I fall, I get up and run. Still I fall, I get up and run. Finally, because there will be some people who are running with me, they might have fallen, they have not got. Even if I might not lose the way, I have reached my destination. That's the spirit. I think you are also saying. I'm also follow that.
Absolutely.
In the path, we may browse a lot, but those are experience which we can share the other generation to not to make that mistake. Like we learn from our failures. So once we share, they will also know this path should not be taken. This so they can make their run faster. Okay.
Absolutely.
And third question is, thank you, Sime, for answering it. Third question is, you had showed about the innovation award or some form which you have to only last 2 days is left.
Yes.
What is that? Can you elaborate further? How do we apply?
It's an IEEE Entrepreneurship Award. So you can find that information from IEEE Entrepreneurship website. So 2 days left for 2021 award, but still this is an opportunity to give a try. And this is like an annual award. So still, like you can keep this one in mind for the upcoming years if you cannot really, just like apply this time. But I'll just like share the link later on the chat. And
I think I'm not an IEEE member. I'm part of the project manager PMI member, so I need to take the IEEE membership to participate in that, right?
Well, actually, IEEE Entrepreneurship Award is also, like entrepreneurs. I'll just write you down. It's not for IEEE members only.
Okay.
So IEEE Entrepreneurship is one of the organizational units. And
so that comes under the bracket of IEEE, ma'am. They should be coming under the umbrella of IEEE.
Yes, it's an IEEE umbrella. It's an IEEE
because
initiative.
Like I project management PMI has a couple of branches under them, so they have their own award for those groups, like education fund, or it can be PMI's various activities. So as if I register, then we can apply for the entrepreneurship, right?
Well, actually, like in this award, I just like copied the link to the chat. So both IEEE members and non-IEEE members may self-apply and be nominated, and by others.
Thank you for the patience, and thank you for answering it for me.
Of course. Always.
Thank you, Priti ma'am, and thank you, Simai, for answering all the questions. I have one more question. Like the real-time scenario, my seniors, they have started their startup in 3D printing. So, and soon, and after 2 to 3 years, their profit margin is not increasing. So one thing they have observed is like social networking or like social impact. You have mentioned in your slide as well. Like social impact is very important, as like your product must be known to others. If you want to sell your product, like marketing must be there, or we should sell our product on national level or global level. So that we can gain the profit and like earn the profit. So what is your thought about like socializing or increasing the network or socializing product? So what is your thought about this point?
So that's also a very good point. Like in every startup business model, so you need time for the brand awareness.
Yes.
And also for the profits. But there should be also like increase also in the brand awareness in every single stage. So like of course, they're just like business models. You immediately get well known, but still you need to keep growing. So
Yeah.
like to be a global brand, or just like be well known and reach out more people and right audience. So that's why the strategic plan is also part of this brand awareness. You should have this brand awareness plan step by step from the very beginning. So like if you just like target to be very like the world's number one brand in that market segment or technology in 3 months, you'll probably not able to achieve it. So
Yes.
like if you're just like expanding your market share, or if you're expanding your brand awareness in different regions, and if you're expanding to new, like if you, for example, have a multicultural company from the very beginning, so like you should actually increase the just like brand awareness in new countries in every single stage. You cannot go everywhere at the same time. So that's why targeting and piloting is important. So you should have the pilot regions, pilot countries, and pilot market segments for your products. And if you're actually achieving them step by step, it will give you the strength and opportunity for also expanding to new ones. So that's why it's important to analyze that. For us, for example, like we're based in, I'm from Istanbul, and my partners, the other co-founders, are in Shanghai, Australia. We have core team members who are also IEEE members. When we expanded the team, that was also network opportunity to have brilliant IEEE members from our network on board. So we have core team members in UK, France, Brazil, and United States. It was actually the mindset that we gained from, just like from the very beginning when we founded the company. So like by being virtual in a, just like during the pandemic. So we took advantage of those challenges. So like, and here, so like you have the target regions, but each region, and if you're just like trying to have a market share in specific pilot countries at the first year, so you will achieve your goal. So it's just not easy. Well, you can achieve it. Depends your business model. I'm just referring what we have done so far, because we started in different countries from the very beginning. It was the business model we formed, and it went well so far. It gave us the advantage, but it doesn't mean every business model should go in that way. It was our opportunity, but maybe it's also your opportunity. But then from those locations, you should have, in different market segment, you should have a different targets. And if you gain one, and after 2 years, that means you have another opportunity to jump to the next country.
Yes.
So that's actually growing step by step. Again, we need to be fair to ourselves, and we need to be fair for our business model. Because if you're saying at the first year, oh, nobody still not know us everywhere, so it's not failure. It's not the failure, actually. Like if you already reach out 10 countries in the beginning, for example, referring to this business model, that is already your milestone. So that's why, like if you're just like targeting being a global world leader from the first 3 months, maybe we are doing something wrong. Here again, referring to business model, we should just stop and think about it, and see what are the conditions where we can achieve. Like whatever you achieve, that will be your story anyways. And then you will increase your margin, because you're taking those steps strategically. So that's also another important thing from my at least from my journey.
Yes. I got your point. So thank you for answering my question. So yes, we'll take the next question again from Preeti. What is your message for we returning moms to bounce back and upskill?
That's a very good one. Just like, especially for returning moms, like that break is a very important opportunity, because now, in that break, you learn a lot of things. Just you discover a lot of things during that journey. So that give you, when you return to work, you're actually even stronger than ever. So and you discover a lot of things in that journey. So like that, from my point of view, that really helps the entrepreneurship spirit. Because like in that journey also, like when you're a return mother, so like you also discover all those skills that I was referring, like how you will be. I don't know, you can just like you can have another opinion, but from my point of view, you learn how to be flexible, you learn how to grow, like all these skills are actually parallel. So like all the experience you gain will be helpful for just like upskilling yourself, not just for entrepreneurship but also for the industry, because like you're just learning, and still like when you're ready to go backward from any break. So and from beautiful journeys as returning mother too, just like it's important to stay connected with emerging technologies or emerging ideas for future. Because like in my journey, I was just not returning from a break, but then I changed my industry. Well, not industry, but at least slightly changed from photovoltaics to battery storage, which supports each other, but it's a different technology anyways. But then you should be also following what are those key trends from your experiences. So how you will upskill yourself and learn more based on technology and you're based on your personal skills. Because like it will also help you to develop your business model. So that's also important, to stay in touch and be connected to and see the future direction for the technology you're passionate for. So that will give you the right answer, how you will upskill yourself. Because in this journey, you will keep equipping yourself. You will not just be, like you're ready to be an entrepreneur, you're ready to go back to industry or academia, but then every single day we learn and grow. So then you still need to equip yourself. So like it requires a lot of upskilling, but future direction will help you and give you these answers.
Yes, so that's the answer for your question, Preeti, ma'am. Again, the next question is like, but the career break automatically women put them back, and same goes for salary. With a person who failed in her venture and lost couple of years due her perseverance for the idea or product, how will you convince HR with new outlook?
Well, that's a good point. But just it's not like we're returning in break. I think today with this actually initiatives, especially here today, we're discussing and returning mothers. Just like we are increasing awareness on that, and just like we're changing the society together. Just to have this direction. It's not just you only. I think together we are supporting this idea when you return from these breaks, just like your work environment will be ready for it. So like not for today, because like even though there are challenges, so just like when we increase this awareness, like every single day, just like you don't really need to probably, hopefully, our target having these initiatives, you don't need to just like convince anybody. You will just upskill yourself, and you will just focus on your own growth instead of convincing someone to just accept you as you are. So that's why we're here. That's my answer. That maybe not today but tomorrow, but maybe already today, because we are reaching out these people, and thanks to our unitedness, and we are just like rising up this concern today, we are changing the societies all around. So that's important, and hopefully we'll make even better every single day. And tomorrow, hopefully even sooner, you will not need to convince anyone. They will convince you how to, just like make it better.
Yes, for sure, 100%. Yes, so that was the answer for your question, Preeti. Okay, so any more questions, guys? The platform is open.
Of course.
Simi, I want to hear any situation which you faced or handled being an entrepreneur during this pandemic time. any situation which you want to share with us?
Well, it's actually my entrepreneurship journey is part of the pandemic because like when we decided this business model and right decision and conditions, team and environmental factor, right investor, everything was there. So and the pandemic started, and it was and actually with our positiveness, all the skills that I was referring, and flexibility, we adopt in the conditions, and actually we saw the opportunities, by being virtual, as here today, we're just seeing each other. I personally was always connected with all IEEE volunteering and initiatives. That gives us a lot of strength for networking. Because we keep inspiring each other. So then beside the entrepreneurship journey, you're just seeing how we balance our volunteering and entrepreneurship. I think volunteering makes me more efficient, with limited time. You're managing the time even more efficiently. So the same for entrepreneurship. Because in that journey, there were always so many challenges. But imagine you're starting a business model, but everybody is virtual. Actually, you have more opportunities to expand because, I was referring our business model in my story. So we started with global team, but we didn't need to travel in the past, I used to travel even more than probably ever. But in this 2 years, without traveling, we just reach out many new countries and markets, and just by being strategic. So that was an opportunity, I can say. Just it helped us to grow in short period of time. And because all you need is sometimes adopting the conditions. So what we did, and that's why pandemic was not really, of course they were just difficulties as well, but pandemic was not an excuse for us. If there is a challenge, if we are just seeing that as an opportunity, it's no longer an excuse. That's why we just saw pandemic as an opportunity, I can say. And hopefully in short period of time, based on our strategy plan, so we reached those milestones we were targeting. That's why we are as a team, we are very happy with the journey itself so far, because pandemic was not the excuse.
It means you are having a very positive perspective of everything. Just take everything with a positive attitude or a positive confidence, whether that is a pandemic situation or something else.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so the last question from Preeti ma'am. So she is asking, as a person who relocated, how did you go ahead with entrepreneur journey as every country has their business policy? What is your ideas and suggestion to move ahead faster?
Oh, that's a good one. Well, actually, I lived in China for 3.5 years before, and I worked in the corporate environment those years. So I knew the country, and it's another just another perspective. I returned to my country from China, and I became entrepreneur in China when I'm in Turkey. So that was a thing. So, but of course, in this story, we are not learning because we have the co-founders in Australia as well. So it's all about your mindset. You're ready to learn new policies, and we are expanding in new countries. We immediately opened offices in different countries as well from the very beginning, very strategically. So when you have IEEE helped me from very first years of my student life to be a global citizen. So we just grow as global citizens. And if you're IEEE volunteer or someone who get inspired from IEEE ecosystem, let's say. So from those years, when I decided to relocate to China, return to Turkey, now if I need to relocate anywhere else in the world, that won't be the challenge. If I need to learn new business model from those policies, that won't be the challenge because now you have the global citizenship mindset. So now we are a world citizen. So then the world is our home. And when you think in that way, so like you easily learn the new country, new policy, or feel comfortable by just like running a new business in another country from wherever you are. That's why in the middle of pandemic, it was not even a concern for me just to start a business model in the international level when I'm in front of the camera most of the times. Because like you have this mindset here, and it comes from our spirit. So entrepreneurial spirit, global citizenship spirit, they're all like connected to each other. And of course, not all the business model needs to go global at the very beginning, but that's our advantage because we're world citizens, especially as IEEE volunteers, members, or whoever is connected to our network.
Yes, for sure. So mindset is a very important thing in entrepreneurship. So that's the key point here. Hope Preeti, this is the answer for your question. Yeah, she has given some insights. Like still she is doing her business online on small scale with volunteering mindset to keep her abstract in technology. And like, how did you learn to do business in Mandarin?
Oh yes, I mean because just like again after a while, like if you have the global citizenship mindset, even not language is not the boundary. Because
Okay.
you find a way to communicate, you find a way to learn new language, you find a way to speak or do the business without even doing that. I speak just like several languages today, but still it is not only the way. I mean, if we have opportunity, we should learn new languages. So
Yes.
like that like there will be always return of that investment. It may be today, but tomorrow, maybe immediate return. You will never know. But then, so like I was always eager to learn, the new languages, and still I'm eager. I'm ready to learn more languages. But it is not just the only opportunity you have. Like you can run an international business without knowing that language as well.
Yes.
So it's all about your spirit. And after a while, you don't need to know all the languages in the world, but you can actually do business anywhere if you have that mindset, because you feel like home is your home. I mean, you feel like the world is your home, so you're comfortable with any kind of, developing any kind of business, even without language barrier.
Yes. Very correct. So language is not the barrier. Like if your mindset is open and wide, so no one can stop you. Yes.
Absolutely. But I'm not saying nobody should learn more languages. We should learn languages, but we shouldn't see that as a boundary.
Yes. Yes. Fine.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. So any more questions, guys?
Thank you for all the kind words and comments.
Yeah, all are loving your vibes and positive attitude. It's like really amazing. Your attitude towards the like things about entrepreneurship views are really wonderful. So thank you so much for all the views as well as the aspects. Thank you.
Even I
Okay.
must say the session was not very but super interactive.
Yes.
No, your insights, your ideas, your experiences, definitely that would be, you can say, beneficial for our participants for their future plans. They will motivate with your journey. I'm sure about that.
Yes. Really amazing journey,
Yeah.
inspiring journey.
No, thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Simon. Thank you so much for coming and share your ideas on this platform. We all will be very happy and feeling, you can say, very honored to listen you your ideas. And may I request Samruddhi to
Yes, ma'am.
share, yeah, e-momento.
Sure, sure. Yes. Okay, so is my screen visible?
Yeah, this is visible. Again, as we are on virtual platform, it's just a way to say again thank you. Thank you to accept our invitation to spare time from your busy schedule and share your ideas among us. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. That was really, really pleasure being here. So I'm happy for this inspiration today that I also got inspired from you.
Our pleasure.
Yeah. Okay. So over to you, Savneet. You can bring up the magic box to all the participants. Okay, so there will be a surprise element. Yes, here we go.
Yay!
Yes, so let's click virtual Groupie. Okay, so I'm done.
I'm also done.
Yes.
7 people.
Participants, yeah, 7 people. 8 have done. One more. One more to go.
It's just like a single student or a candidate in an examination hall. 8 have done, and we are waiting for the
Oof,
one more.
last one.
Last one. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I think we can end this process.
Yes.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Yeah, you can save your groupie or you
You
can
can,
see this on your mail inbox as well.
yes.
That's brilliant. Thank you for everyone joining and sharing.
Thank you so much once again.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
for
much, Seema.
this great opportunity, and it was just an honor. And thank you so much for hosting.
It was a really pleasure meeting you and listening from you. The great insights and amazing session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, presence. Thank you.
Thank you all the participants. Thank you so much.
Have a great day, and looking forward to meet in the
Bye.
next
Yes,
upcoming
sure.
class.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Have a great day.